All righty. Good morning, and thank you everyone for being here in attendance. We will start with the pledge and we'll get going.
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. Pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible.
Okay. Again, good morning, everyone, and we are grateful for everyone in attendance, both in person and online, wherever you may be. So we will begin with a report by the Bingo Advisory Committee.
Chairman, Commissioners. BAC met yesterday and had several items that were discussed. The BAC would again like to thank Commissioner Fields for being in attendance yesterday at the meeting, and as always, LaDonna and Tyler and her staff for being in attendance and for their participation. It is such a breath of fresh air to have colleagues instead of adversaries for the challenge. So we greatly thank LaDonna and her staff for helping us. First item is the BAC voted to endorse Michael Anastasio to represent the charity Lessor seat on the Bingo Advisory Committee. Michael has been a member of the VFW Post 8577 in the Copper's Cove area for over 15 years and has been a bookkeeper, operator, director, and chairperson for the last 4 years. BAC asked that the commission approve Michael to fill this vacancy. And Michael is here today if the commissioners have any questions for him.
Okay. Commissioners, Cindy?
He's a great candidate. I think he'll do a great job for us.
We think so as well. Thank you.
Okay.
The second item is a new product called Fast Track Bingo. Kim Kipling and 3 of the largest distributors in the state will be working with staff to eventually petition for rulemaking. The product is already approved in Texas, but needs some administrative rules before marketing it. BAC will have this on their next agenda, and I will report to you at the August meeting. And finally, the BAC will be presenting its work plan for next year and its year-end report at the August commission meeting. To conclude my report.
Okay. Thank you. Commissioners, any questions, Cindy?
I think we have to take action.
Okay.
If I may interject here, Bob, your general counsel, I believe that under the commission's rules that we need a vote to for Mr. Anastasio to join the BAC. So I'll make a motion.
Okay. If there's a motion,
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes unanimous.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Next item, we have the very esteemed Mike Fernandez to come and discuss all sorts of important items.
Commissioners, I'm going to interject here real quickly here before I start. Item 3 is the lottery operating contract, and I always feel like I'd be remiss if I didn't advise you that under the State Lottery Act, whenever you take a negotiation of lottery operating contract, you have options to discuss negotiations in executive sessions. So my understanding is Mike's not recommending that.
Okay.
I always wondered about it.
Okay.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. For the record, my name is Mike Fernandez. I'm the Director of Administration. Mr. Chairman, I'll have the next 3 items on the agenda. Item 3 in your notebook is a briefing item, and it's to advise the Commission of Staff's intent to amend our lottery operations and services contract with IG Global Solutions Corporation. The purpose of this amendment is to provide for the implementation of a secondary distribution warehouse to ensure business continuity and risk mitigation. The second warehouse will be primarily used for scratch ticket storage. However, in the event the central distribution warehouse is not operational, the secondary warehouse will process and distribute scratch tickets. This is a no-cost amendment. Commissioners have independently confirmed they do not have any financial interest in IGT. Be happy to answer any questions. Chairman.
Okay, commissioners? Okay. Next item.
Again, for the record, my name is Mike Fernandez, Director of Administration. Item 4 in your notebook, Chairman, is an action item. Staff is seeking commission approval to issue requests for proposals for advertising services. The term of the contract will be for a 4-year period, contemplating 2 1-year extensions. I'd be happy to answer any questions, Mr. Chairman. This will require a board approval.
Okay, Mike, thank you. Is there a motion?
Move to approve.
Or a second? Second. Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, good job.
Chairman. Item number 5 in your notebook is a briefing item to advise the commission staff's intent to exercise a 1-year extension of Blackmore's marketing for advertising services. Services will begin September 1, 2022 and conclude August 31, 2023. Commissioners have also independently confirmed they have no financial interest in that. I'd be happy to answer any questions. Mr. Chairman.
Does that require?
No, sir.
Okay. All righty. That's it? Okay, Mike, thank you very much, sir. Okay, next we are on to item number 6. Consideration of possible discussion and or action, including personnel. We're going to discuss Powerball draw game rules.
Very briefly. Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. My name is Deanne Rundstrom, Special Counsel. And this morning in your notebook is a proposed amendment to 16 TAC Section 401.317. This is the Powerball rule. Earlier this year in January, the Missile Powerball Group made a change to their rules regarding the grand prize fund, and we are making similar changes to our rule. Staff recommends proposing this rule and publishing in the Texas Register for 30 days. This is an action item.
Okay, commissioners, any comments about a motion? If anyone wants to do this, okay. Is there a second? Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Good job. Thank you very much. All righty. We are on up. Yeah, go ahead, please.
Commissioners, I'm Kelly Stuckey, Controller for the agency, and with me this morning is the Commission's Product Manager, Robert Trelawney, and we'll be presenting sales through the week ending June 4th, 2022. So our presentation this morning will begin with data on Slide 2 and looking at comparative total sales presented at the bottom of the slide. And it's here we'll note that in the 40-week period, total sales for FY22 are $6,240 million. That's relatively flat over last fiscal year sales, with just a slight decrease of $1.8 million. Fiscal year 22 scratch ticket sales, reflected on the second orange bar, are $5,138 million. That's an $88.2 million increase over the FY21 scratch sales of $5,050 million. And it's showing a current scratch ticket growth rate of 1.7% over last year. Scratch ticket sales make up 82.4% of our total sales this year, as compared to 81% last fiscal year. Moving on to draw sales, fiscal year 22 draw sales are reflected on that second blue bar and are $1,098 million, and that reflects a $90 million decrease, or 7.6% under sales last year. Those sales last year were $1,188 million. Now I'll turn it over to Robert to do games by sale. Sales by game.
Thanks, Kelly. Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. So this is our year-over-year comparison. Again, this is through this past Saturday, June 4th. As Kelly noted, you can see at the very bottom, the portfolio is down slightly, $1.8 million. Up above on the slide, we'll dive into where that deficit is coming from. If we start with the draw game portion of the portfolio, the draw games are experiencing a $90 million decline. Most of that decline is coming from the jackpot games. No news here, unfortunately, but the lack of jackpots from the Mega Millions game this fiscal is having a negative impact on the entire draw game portfolio. Mega Millions and its add-on games are down just over 133 million compared to last fiscal. We're also seeing declines on Lotto Texas and on Texas Two-Step. Again, that's due to a lack of jackpots this fiscal year. Powerball and its add-on game are the only jackpot. Powerball is the only jackpot game experiencing year-over-year growth. For the daily games in the middle of the screen in blue, Pick 3 and Cash 5 are both down. Daily 4 and All or Nothing are up, but overall the daily games are down 8.3 million. So that's how we get to the $90 million decline for draw games. Good news on the scratch ticket front. Scratch tickets are up $88 million year over year. The long-awaited $100 scratch ticket game started as we planned on Monday, May 16th. Since it launched, it has sold almost $56 million through this past Saturday, and it has been the #1 selling scratch ticket game each week that it has been out in the market. First 3 weeks of sales for the $100 scratch ticket are the best 3 weeks of sales for any game in the past 25 years. So the $100 game is obviously off to a great start. That being said, as we talked about last time we were together, we've had and we continue to have very tough year-over-year comparison weeks as we achieved extraordinary sales levels across the entire portfolio last fiscal. And as we've discussed, this fiscal has proven to be challenging and will most likely be seen as a reset year. So we have approximately 12 weeks left in this current fiscal year, and we will see what happens with jackpots and with consumer spending during that time period. When we get together back in early August, we should have a much better idea about how we will close out the year. And that is the sales report for today. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, Commissioners, any questions? Okay, good job.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, next item. Go ahead, Kelly.
Item 8 includes information on the agency's transfers to the state, as well as our status of our current FY22 operating agent. And for this item in your notebooks is the agency's transfer to the state through April 30th, 2022. And this report reflects accrued revenue transfers and allocations to the Foundation School Fund and the Texas Veterans Commission, as well as the allocations for unclaimed prizes for this past 8 months of this fiscal year 22. The total accrued revenue transfers to the state amounted to $1,023,000,000 through the end of April. And of that transfer, $1.18 billion was the amount transferred to the Foundation School Fund. $13.6 million was transferred to the Texas Veterans Commission, and with the remaining $29.9 million transferred for unclaimed prizes. This amounts to a decrease in revenue to the Foundation School Fund of $26.1 million, or 2.2% when we compare that to last fiscal year at the same time. Total cumulative transfers to the Foundation School Fund through April of this year are $28.9 billion. And then the second part of this item is the FY22 budget status. And for the second quarter ending February 28, 2022, the Commission's lottery account budget for 22 is $263.8 million. And of that amount, 78.3% has been either expended or encumbered through the end of the second quarter. And then on the bingo side, their operating budget is funded by general revenue of 2.07 million. That's got 89.1% either expended or encumbered. This item. Is there any questions on that?
Commissioners, any questions? No? Okay. Kelly, good job.
Move to item, final item, and that is the agency's FY23 operating budget. And so for this item, I will be requesting your approval for the 23 operating budget in the amount of $258,534,214. That includes 308 paid full-time positions. Budget was developed as usual in accordance with our appropriation amounts outlined in the Senate Bill 1 and adjusted for any riders or Article 9 funding provisions. And the initial draft of this budget was developed by the Office of the Controller and delivered to Division Management for the direct input. The final draft was developed after receiving that feedback and incorporating from the divisions and reviewed by Executive Management. Commissioners, this concludes my presentation. May I answer any questions?
Commissioners, any questions? Okay. Do we have a motion for approval? Second. Okay. Collectively, we will now vote. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Passes. Kelly, you and your entire group putting this together obviously is something that takes a lot of dedication and just, pinpoint accuracy on a lot of different moving targets. And on behalf of all of our commissioners, we're incredibly grateful for everyone involved in getting us to this point. So thank you, Kelly, for doing a great job. Thank you. Okay. Next item would be number 10, who are following along at home or here. Darlene Brown.
Morning, Commissioners. My name is Darlene Brown. I'm the internal auditor. Packet is a status report. Since we met last time, we continue to work with to get the management audit and also confidential data management. Next, we're out. Next, we will be working with wrapping up those two audits. We're also monitoring and working on to make sure that the controls for the draw center and the claim center move are good type. So that is the status report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners, any questions? Okay, Darlene, go ahead. That's it? Wow. Okay, well, thank you for coming to share that, and thank you. Good job. Okay, we are moving very quickly along. Item number 11, LaDonna.
Morning, Commissioners. For the record, I'm LaDonna Caston, Division Director of the Chair of the Biennial Operations Division. Information regarding outputs for April and May can be found in your notebook materials. Also included in your notebook is the Charitable Bingo Operations Division's Biennial report as required by Section 2001.060 of the Bingo Enabling Act. The statute requires the Commission on or before June 1st of even numbered years to prepare and deliver to the Governor, the Lieutenant Governor, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, and the chairs of the standing committees of the Senate and the House of Representatives a report stating certain bingo financial information as reported by authorized organizations licensed to conduct bingo. The report in your notebook materials was delivered on May 2nd, 2022, and there's no commission action necessary today. In addition to the work detailed in the notebook materials for April and May, we have completed the first part of our office move. There are several division staff who are still working here in this building so that we can complete all the functions related to mail processing. Those staff that have been working in the Bush building are enjoying the new space, especially all the natural light. We're continuing to fine tune our reporting from BOSS and BSP so that we can more quickly and confidently respond to customer inquiries, including helping them to help themselves and report our quarterly and annual performance measures. I'm happy to report that this last quarter, we saw some improvement in the percentage of license holder quarterly reports that were filed electronically. CBOG staff is almost done with a full set of user manuals about how to file electronically, and I hope to have them ready to post on the website later this month. I know that the BAC has been helping in these efforts by spreading the word to get more license holders to file online. I appreciate the help on this important CBOD initiative. I want to remind you that it's going to be time in August to reappoint BAC members for another one-year term and to approve a BAC work plan for fiscal year 2023. I've started working with Trace and we should have everything in plenty of time. Finally, I can't believe that we're closing in on my first year serving as the director of charitable bingo operations. It's certainly been an exciting ride and a challenging one. I'm so proud of what the CBOD staff has accomplished while still having to teach me everything about charitable bingo. I've also enjoyed working with division staff at the lottery, and the bingo industry. That's all I have for you today, and I'm available to answer questions.
Okay, well, good job. Commissioners, any comments? Okay, well, congratulations on your 1 year, and I know all of us are just really excited that you have many more ahead as well. So thank you for your service. Okay, we are now on to item number 12. Our Executive Director, Gary Grieve, is here to enlighten us, I'm sure.
I don't know about that, Mr. Chairman, but I'll do my best. So thank you, and I want to ask Lauren Callahan, our Media Relations Director, to come forward and provide the commissioners with some news regarding our recent 30th anniversary documentary video, and then I'll have a couple of other items after Lauren. Very cool. So Lauren, please.
Gary, thank you. Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, good morning. For the record, my name is Lauren Callahan, Media Relations Director for the agency. I've appeared before the Commission on occasion this past year to provide updates about the agency's 30th anniversary committee, which I was honored to co-chair alongside the agency's Lottery Operations Director, Brian Biennial. Today, as we have just passed the Texas Lottery's official 30th anniversary on May 29th, it is my great privilege to provide you one last update regarding the documentary that was produced to commemorate the anniversary. We recently learned that the 30th anniversary documentary, entitled 30 Years of Winning, has received a 2022 Telly Award. The documentary is a silver winner in the branded content documentary individual category. I pulled a bit of background from the Telly Awards website to provide some perspective about what the award is. Quote, the Telly Awards was founded in 1979 to honor excellence in local, regional, and cable television commercials with non-broadcast video and television programming added soon after. With the recent evolution and rise of digital video, the Telly Awards today also reflects and celebrates this exciting new era of moving image on and offline. The Telly Awards annually showcases the best work created within television and across video for all screens. Receiving over 12,000 entries from all 50 states and 5 continents, Telly Award winners represent work from some of the most respected advertising agencies, television stations, production companies, and publishers from around the world. Telly Awards recognizes work that has been created on behalf of clients for a specific brand and or company, including your own, or self-directed as a creative endeavor. To provide a brief recap about the documentary for the record, 30 Years of Winning is a comprehensive look at the first 3 decades of the Texas Lottery as told from the perspective of nearly all of its primary stakeholders, including many of the agency's current employees who were involved with initial startup operations in 1992 through the agency's first 5 years, ending in 1997. Current Texas Lottery senior leadership, current and former lottery commissioners, current and former Texas legislators, representatives from the agency's primary beneficiaries, the Texas Education Agency and the Texas Veterans Commission, and lottery industry professionals, including the agency's lottery operator, IGT Texas, and all 3 the agency's scratch ticket vendors. The documentary explores the uniqueness of the Texas Lottery's mission, business model, and employee culture. The 28-minute, 35-second production consists of 44 interviews, comprising approximately 11 hours of raw interview footage. One of the most unique aspects of the project was being able to utilize the vast wealth of archival footage that was preserved since the early days of the Texas Lottery. Archival video sourced from the Texas Lottery's internal Beta SP video collection was digitized in 2020, making it possible to bring new life to historical moments from the lottery's past, such as the first ticket purchase by Governor Ann Richards, the first Lotto Texas broadcast drawing, and winner's check presentations. The documentary was produced internally by the Texas Lottery's Audiovisual Production Department and members of the 30th Anniversary Documentary Subcommittee. Philip Bates, seated here to my right, served as editor and videographer for the project. He doesn't know I'm going to do this, but if I may take a moment to brag on his work specifically. In my opinion, the finished product rivals the work produced and aired on national television or a major streaming service. From the first interview that was shot in July until the final cut was locked in January, Philip's keen eye for storytelling and his personal knowledge of the Texas Lottery as an employee for more than 20 years were the keys to success for this project. Thank you. I also want to mention by name the members of the 30th Anniversary Documentary Subcommittee, whose assistance in transcribing the sheer number of interviews and providing feedback on versions of the documentary is essential to producing the film within a time frame of 6 months. They are Stephen Cruz, Steve Helm, Andrew Leeper, Roger Prather, Lee Robbins, and Nicholas Shaw. I'd also like to extend a special thank you to fellow directors Nelda Trevino and Ryan Mendel for their assistance at every step of this project, but specifically with their assistance in securing interviews with many of the very important and very busy external stakeholders who appear in the film. I also want to thank Executive Director Gary Grief, who saw the vision for this project from the very beginning and never wavered. His understanding of how and why this documentary would be an integral part within the scope of the agency's 30th anniversary celebrations allowed staff the freedom to really tell the story of the Texas Lottery. Along the way, his excitement about his own participation led to many others choosing to participate as well. From the very beginning, when asked what the scope of this film would be, my response was that it entirely depended on how many people chose to participate. Gary's unwavering support and encouragement ensured an all-around success. And today, we celebrate an important week. Having a hands-on role in the production of this documentary has personally been one of the highlights of my career to date. It has served as my Texas Lottery education, and every time I rewatch it, I am reminded of what an incredibly special place this is to work. I am very proud to be able to share this news with you today. With that, I'll turn things back over to you. Thank you.
Wow, that's just, yeah, super, super impressive. I'll allow commissioners to make some comments.
All I can say is, wow. Excellent job, everybody. Excellent job.
Yeah, I will echo Commissioner Field's comments. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Particularly with the volume of participants globally. I mean, that's a tremendous number to overcome, right? And the thing is that we're not in the business of producing films here at the lottery. And so to have that kind of achievement, first go around with heavy competition. And on top of that, you know, obviously during the pandemic, everybody turned into a filmmaker, right? And so there's even more competition. And those who are already in the craft are only becoming stronger with their craft. So to come in first go around and perform like this is tremendous. And Philip, I know that your hands-on participation and kind of helping form, you know, that you know, very critical editing and all the other components that go along with it, you know, highlight the work performed by all. So just great job, team, and thank you for your contribution. So it means a lot. So thank you. Awesome. Okay.
Commissioners, next I'd like to give you just a brief overview and progress report on our move to the new George H.W. Bush building, 1801 Congress. The initial move of the bulk of our staff a couple of weeks ago went very well, and we're mostly settled into our new space. I want to publicly express appreciation to Tony Erickson, Joan Clodel, and Jeff Manners, who represent all the staff in our administration division for the absolutely amazing job that's been done by both our facilities and technical teams in getting us moved and set up in the new facility. Progress is continuing to be made every day in the new building. Very fortunate in the ability for many of our colleagues to continue to telework, as that has greatly eased the strain and pressure of getting everybody up and running immediately in the new building. We continue to identify issues that need to be addressed every day. We're tracking all those items, forwarding those to the Texas Facilities Commission, and are being addressed as they come up. The move of our mail center, our draw studio, and our Austin Claim Center are all being postponed slightly. Not so much because of building issues per se, but more because of site readiness, things like the surrounding streets, sidewalks, the parking lots, etc. So the mail center is now scheduled to move on July 31st. The draw studio will move on August 7th, with the first new draw to take place August 8th. And the Austin Claim Center is now scheduled to move over August 12th through the 14th and open for business on August 15th. Other state agency tenants who are moving into the building are also having their move dates pushed back ever so slightly as well, all because of those site issues that need to still be addressed by the Facilities Commission. As I've said previously, the room that's been designated for our commission meetings over at the new building will not be ready for occupancy for some time. So we anticipate conducting the August commission meeting right here in this room. We still have this space under lease through the end of August. We'll lose access to the space after August. So even though we're hoping that the new boardroom will be ready for the commission meeting, we'll definitely have a contingency plan in place to conduct this meeting at another location if that's not. Next, commissioners, I want to comment on where we are with lottery sales. And in particular, I want to try to add some color to the report that you just heard from Robert and Kelly about the early results of the lottery industry's first $100 scratch ticket in history, and the challenge we have over this last quarter of our fiscal year to break last year's sales record. By any measure, the introduction of the $20 million spectacular, first ever $100 ticket, has been incredibly successful. Even though the ticket is only on sale, the first 7 days of its first week, it quickly vaulted to the #1 selling game in the state. It's $18.3 million. That first week in sales smashed all sales records for scratch tickets in Texas since the early days of the lottery first started selling. The second week did even better, more than $20 million in sales, again, breaking all records. Last week, which was the third week of sales for the game, sales came in at $7.1 million. Again, our #1 selling scratch ticket game for the week by almost a 2-to-1 margin against the next best ticket. Going forward, we conservatively expect this game to average between $12 and $15 million per week in sales for several months, again exceeding our projections for the game. A couple of other quick points I want to make about this game. First, what would have happened if this game had not launched successfully and been a disappointment? For us, it would not have been the end of the world. We would have simply regrouped, refocused on the next sales initiative. Key to success for us here at the Texas Lottery is not to be hesitant, be afraid to try new products, new strategies, as long as they're within our statutory authority. See it all around the country with other lotteries. Lottery is paralyzed by inaction. It's very unlikely that that lottery will ever hit a home run with innovation. And secondly, we want to point out and highlight that this $100 game means so much more to us than just the outstanding sales we're about today. With our very limited advertising budget, that we're all very much aware of, this game has generated literally millions of dollars in positive buzz for the Texas Lottery. anyone doubts that, just do a quick YouTube search for Texas Lottery $100 scratch ticket. And then mentally map over that level of excitement to every single social media platform. And you'll better understand what I'm talking about. And just as important, the introduction of the $100 ticket, it's helped us to reverse the declines that we were seeing in scratch ticket sales for about the previous 10 weeks, as we were now competing against that pandemic-fueled spring and summer last year. So overall, as you heard Robert and Kelly report, for scratch tickets, now more than $88 million ahead of last year's record sales pace, with a decline in draw sales of almost $90 million. For less than $2 million, 0.03% behind last year's record-breaking sales pace. And we're going to be in a dogfight over these last 3 months to see if we can once again break our sales rate. But that said, we wouldn't even be talking about that possibility without the introduction of the $100 ticket. And I would emphatically say something that I consistently comment about in various conferences and meetings around the country. That is, our lottery industry must get better at taking reasonable and sound entrepreneurial risk. We're not unlike any other industry. We have to constantly innovate. We have to take a strategic business risk sometimes in order to stay relevant to our players. I am very proud that the Texas Lottery leads the country in that, and we will continue to do so as we evaluate any and all appropriate opportunities that we have to increase revenue for our beneficiaries. And the last thing, Mr. Chairman, I would like to talk to you about today is regarding one of our colleagues, Mr. Mario Valdez, our Enforcement Division Director. So Mario, I would ask that you please come forward and sit at the table for a few minutes. Commissioners, Mario made the very, very difficult decision to retire at the end of this month. And I say difficult because having worked here with Mario at the Texas Lottery for the last 28 years, I know something about Mario's work ethic. If you look up in the dictionary the definition of old school, I wouldn't be surprised to see a big 8x10 velocity right there. Mario likes to work. And I know it's going to be a challenge for him to make the transition to retirement. But I've got all the confidence in the world that he can. I would want to publicly thank you, Mario, for all your many years of service here at the Lottery Commission. And I have a proclamation for Mario this morning that if you allow me, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to read into it.
Please.
Whereas Mario Valdez is retiring from the Texas Lottery Commission effective June 30th, 2022. And whereas in fulfilling the duties and tasks as the Director of Enforcement for the Texas Lottery Commission, Mario drew from his extensive experience, having served in Texas for more than 28 years, and also having served as a police officer at the Austin Police Department. He is indeed deserving of special professional and personal recognition. And whereas Mario joined the Texas Lottery Commission May 1st, 1994, originally as a member of the Security Division, subsequently the Enforcement Division, where he has remained throughout his tenure at the Texas Lottery Commission. Whereas for almost the last 8 of those years, Mario has served with distinction as the Director of Enforcement of the Texas Lottery Commission and has provided valuable law enforcement leadership and expertise to the agency. Whereas during his tenure with the Commission, Texas Lottery has experienced record-breaking sales and revenue transfers to the state of Texas and established an excellent reputation in the area of charitable bingo regulation. Whereas Mario now looks forward to living in his new house in Granbury, Texas, with his loving wife, Roxanne, playing golf every day and generally living life to its fullest. And whereas Mario will greatly enjoy visits in the future with his children, Gavin, who is a lieutenant in the U.S. Navy, and his new wife, Jordan, and Rihanna, who is a lead at an oil field company in Florida. And whereas Mario will be greatly missed by his friends and colleagues in the Enforcement Division, as well as his fellow division directors and executive director at the Texas Lottery Commission. Be it resolved that the Texas Lottery Commission hereby congratulates Mario Valdez on his state retirement and extends to him sincere best wishes now and during this next chapter in his life. Be it further resolved that an official copy of this proclamation be prepared for Mr. Valdez as an expression of high regard by the Texas Lottery Commission. Witness whereof we have hereunto set our hands and cause the seal of the Texas Lottery Commission to be affixed hereto. Signed, Robert G. Rivera, Chairman, and Gary Green, Executive Director. With that, Mr. Chairman, I'll turn it back over to you.
Wow. Mario, we, on behalf of our commissioners, we are incredibly grateful for your literally decades of dedication to the state of Texas, to the Texas Lottery. Even before you joined this organization as a police officer for the city of Austin, that kind of commitment means a lot to the community. And so every day that you've been here, it's added to the strength of this organization. And although in the future you may not physically be here, your efforts, your thoughts, your ideas, your mannerisms, they will positively remain and they will be part of the lottery forever. So we're incredibly grateful for all of your service and wish you tremendous success in your next chapter. And all of us are very excited about your future as well, doing whatever it is that you would like to do. So well deserved, Mario, and just congratulations. We would like you to say a few words, please.
Yes, if I may. Well, good morning, Executive Director. Thank you for the opportunity. Chairman, Rivera, Commissioners, my old family, colleagues. For the record, my name is Mario Luis Valdez. I want to give each and every one of you a most sincere thanks for the privilege and honor to be a small part of the Texas Lottery Commission. So I also want to say for the record, my name is Mario Valdez. I started working at the age of 6. I was bagging ice for a penny a bag. And it wasn't hard work, but it was very nice and cold as I worked in the trailer, bagging ice for 1 penny, ready ice for a penny a bag. As stated, I began with the Lottery Commission in May of 1994 as a bingo investigator. And as time went on, we, in order to enhance our travel budget, we started doing both lottery and bingo investigations. That worked very well for budgetary. I was an investigator, then a lieutenant in the security division, which later became the enforcement division. In November of 2014, Mr. Grief offered me the opportunity to be the enforcement division director, to which I proudly accepted. Of course, when I had told Mr. Grief, when you talking over with my wife, she said, "Come back there and tell him yes." And I was not always perfect in performing the duties as director, but it can always be said that I was always trying to do the right thing, but just the problem. Always trying and always running. This journey was one of many trials and challenges and many changes during the years. The journey was, I was always learning, and the experience that I have had here at the lottery most. Every day I look for something I learned about the lottery industry from the Texas Lottery Commission. For the past 28 years has been a wonderful journey, and one that I will always remember. Sadly, there comes a time in a person's life when changes must be made. Submitting my request for retirement was a very difficult decision. that I had to make. And here we are today. As stated previously in the video documentary that Lauren talked about, one of the things that I did say in that video was that what makes the Texas Lottery very unique, most enjoyable place to work, is the people that work here. Different diversity. It's all a bunch of moving parts that fit together well, and once everybody knows it, it works very well to make it successful. And it's very enjoyable to have worked here. For that, I am most proud that I was a very small part of it. I will miss everybody here. Thank you.
Mario, thank you again, and you were absolutely perfect in your effort every day that you were here. So you did achieve that perfection.
Thank you for the opportunity.
That concludes my time. Be happy to answer any questions, and I would also ask that the commissioners spend just a couple of minutes before we go into executive session so we can get some photographs. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Okay, next item we're going to talk about here is Bob Baird is going to talk about some enforcement cases.
Mr. Chairman, Bob Beard, General Counsel. Item 13, you have 11 enforcement cases, 10 lottery cases, and 1 bingo cases, tab J through K. These cases, commission staff found the licensee violated a lottery or bingo statute rule. In many of these cases, the respondent either failed to appear at the hearing and it proceeds by default, or the respondent and staff reach a settlement in the form of an agreed order. And we have both of those types of cases today. Tabs A through E of a non-sufficient fund lodged with retailer license revocations. Each case was presented at the State Office of Administrative Hearings for revocation of the retailer's license because the licensee failed to have sufficient funds to the bank account to cover electronic fund transfers to patients. In each case, the licensee failed to appear, and the judge remanded the case to the commission. Tabs F through J are lottery agreed orders. Tab K is a bingo agreed order with a unit of several charities. These are all settlements, as I said. The materials for all those cases are in your notebook. I'll be happy to answer questions, but you're welcome to take those up and submit them.
Okay, commissioners, any questions? And if not, we move to approve.
Move to approve.
Second? Second. Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good job.
Thank you, Chairman.
Good job, Bob. Okay, we are to the point of the meeting where we are going to go into executive session for just a few minutes, and we will take some photos with Mario if he would like, which we would like. But we will be back here in a few minutes, and Mario, come on up and we'll take some pictures.
Executive session, just for the record, will be for personnel matters, and the time is 10:46.
We approve the employee performance evaluation for LaDonna Castanuela and set her annual salary in the amount of $156,000 effective July 1st, 2022.
Okay, any discussion? Is there a motion?
I make a motion.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion is passed. So Donna, good job on your 1 year and just your continued advancement. We are incredibly excited and grateful that you're here.
Did all of that. Excellent job. Keep it up.
Thank you very much.
Is there any other business anyone has here before us? Nope. Okay. Thank you.